Giants at the Vikings. I originally had the Giants to win this game.
Whoa.
We talked about it earlier on PFT Live because of the Vikings, by the way, 4-point favorites with an over-under of 48. And no weather issues there because obviously they play indoors. I worry about the Vikings being able to reset after the emotional come-from-behind win over the Colts down 33-0. But they've already been there. They've already learned what happens when you have that emotional victory, that uncanny win in Buffalo. They were discombobulated against a good Cowboys team, and they got the crap kicked out of them. That could happen. I just think that they understand keenly the importance of getting that 2 seed. Because if they do win in the wild card round, they cannot afford to go back to San Francisco. Even though Kevin O'Connell wasn't the coach then, Kirk Cousins was the quarterback, a lot of the players were there. They understand what is waiting for them if they have to go to Levi's Stadium and face the 49ers in the divisional round. They need to run the table as best they can, and who knows what's going to happen at Green Bay or at Chicago. Those are still to come. But this is the last one they can control. This is the final home game of the regular season. They're doing this white-out thing where they're painted the end zones white, and they're going to wear white on white, and they want everybody to wear white, and they're trying to make a big deal about the Christmas Eve game. I just think they just find a way. It's another find-a-way game against a team that doesn't have a high-end offense, doesn't have a high-end defense.
That's
the
right.
Vikings should be able to score points. 27-24, probably some crazy shit that happens at the end like we've seen in all these Viking games. But 27-24, they find a way to get it done. But I'm hedging. Giants cover.
Yeah, I mean, you said a lot of right things. I think both offenses have an advantage in this matchup. You're right about that. I think that the game's played straight up and clean on both sides, that Minnesota's still better and more dangerous. Minnesota's still like one of the greatest enigmas I have ever seen and I can remember in football. I mean, I've never seen an 11-3 football team have the worst defense in football, be in the bottom quarter in points allowed in football, and your offense is 13th in football, and they're 11-3. It really is amazing. But, yeah, I think, the point you made is it's just not as much as the Vikings defense stinks, the Giants aren't elite enough on that side of the ball to totally take advantage of it. I think they'll have success and move the football, and they should be able to run it and do what they normally do within their formula, right, Mike? Quarterback run, Saquon Barkley, bootleg, RPO, all these little things that are right here, right, because they don't have much to stretch the field or a passing game to do that. And then, and then the defensive side of the ball for the Giants, as the Vikings, is scary too. They're not good against the run, and not necessarily the Vikings are a great running team, but this is one of those where I think they could have a pretty good day, and now it makes the Giants be more aggressive and more man-to-man situations. And they have nobody that can cover Justin Jefferson. So that's where I like the Vikings. I'm going to go 28-20. It's a good, fun game, but I'll have the Vikings score a late touchdown to kind of put it out of the way.
And look, as far as the Vikings know, the Eagles are going to lose to the Cowboys. As far as the Vikings know, the Eagles aren't going to have Jalen Hurts until the playoffs, and there's still a path for the Vikings to get the 1 seed. If the Eagles lose their final 3 and the Vikings win their final 3, the Vikings are the 1 seed. That's as simple as it can be. So they have a strong motivation. Even though they've won their T-shirt and hat game and they're the division champions, there's still more work to be done to better position themselves on the playoff tree. That's what made me ultimately think they're going to find a way to get it done. The Giants can afford to lose this one and still make the playoffs.
That's crazy.
Given that they won that game on Sunday night. If they had lost that game, I think they'd be more dangerous in this one because they'd be getting down to their final chances and being leapfrogged by the Packers, the Lions, or someone like that.
Thanks for watching, homies. Hit subscribe to see all my Unbuttoned videos. You get to see me, Ahmed Fareed, all the big player breakdowns, game breakdowns, player interviews, and my film analysis. So please subscribe. Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Peace out.